request our treasurer, Mr. Siddharth, to introduce our motivational speaker, please.
I think it's a really wonderful gathering to see with the Institute of Indian Foundry Men, and the amount of friendship you are exhibiting in the last an hour and a half. It's very exciting to see all of you with different age groups. I think one of these senior most young citizen put a very nice question, which we'll find answers during my session. So today's topic is a very sensitive topic. I'm not going to talk about your balance sheet or the ROI of an organization, but I'm going to talk about our life's ROI, that's happiness. Are you all excited to listen? Yes? Okay, I'm going to make it very short and sweet due to the time factor, because already there was a very nice engagement the last hour and a half. So I would like to start with a beautiful song. Can I sing a song for you? Okay, wonderful. I'm not a great singer, but nevertheless I'll try this song, which has very relevance. We all been in the corporate world for the last 30 years, 40 years, and we have senior citizens, maybe 50 years, 5 decades in the industry. In the end of your career, when you hang your boots in the corporate segment and you return back home making loads of money, and you look back at your career 30, 40 years back and ask this $1 million question: was this journey worth it? Was this journey worth it? And I think you will find a great amount of surprises. And in one of my presentation, I'll show you a very interesting Harvard study. One of the most accomplished people in the world, after achieving a great amount of excellence in their corporate journey, when they looked back and they saw, many people thought, no, if again I would have gone back 30 years or 40 years, I would have done things much in a different way. And that's what this topic is all about: happiness at work and beyond. So this beautiful song goes like this. A very simple song. I'll sing the first thing. Sandosham kanada vazhunda, Sangeetham padada arunda, oru tumbam vandal adai inbam endru எண்ணி வாழ்ந்து விட்டால் சந்தோஷம் காணாத வாழ்வுண்டா. I think this is what all of us craving for in today's Kali Yuga. Whatever package you get in an organization for the young engineer sitting over here, or even for the accomplished entrepreneur sitting over here, the rankings in the market, Indian market, your growth rate of your company, whatever it is, year on year, there's so much of a pressure. It could be peer pressure, competitiveness in the industry, or the global pressure. There's too much of a pressure happening in the industry we operate. And we take too much of pressure on ourselves, and very seldom we enjoy the journey of entrepreneurship or the life journey. And that's what is going to talk about in the session. You have these slides changer? A very simple question. Sir, you're very busy with your mobile. How do you feel today? How do you feel today? Happy. Sir, how do you feel today? Happy. Sir, what about you, sir? Happy. Only a single word. Madam, over there, how do you feel? Chotu, over there. எப்படி இருக்க இன்னைக்கு? எப்படி ஃபீல் பண்ற? Excellent. Wow, wonderful. Give him a big round of applause. All were telling happy, you told excellent. So the pertinent question is that நம்ம இவ்வளோ கத்துண்டு இருக்கோம், so much of a knowledge we have, but the simple thing, basic thing of happiness, we do not know to express. You go back home, your wife asks, how is the program? IIF program. Good. ஒரே வார்த்தையில் குட்னு முடிச்சிருவோம். And I've made a gist. How do you feel happy today? There are more than 300 emotions, my friend. 300 emotions. Was it excellent? Was it good? Was it fantabulous? It was exciting. Was it anxious? Was it challenging? Uncle put a very nice challenging question. So emotion comes in different flavors and challenges. So you need to, in life or in work, you need to learn the art of expressing yourself if you want to really enjoy happiness. And this chart will show in an organization in the morning hours, your mood is totally different. They call what color is your personality. Your mood is totally different in the morning. During the noon, it's totally different. And if a board meeting happens, it's totally different. The end of the day, when you have a cup of coffee, it's totally different. And the end of the day, you have go for a party with your friends, it's totally different. So what I'm trying to say is that the same thing called happiness has different ups and downs, Sometimes you're anxious, sometimes you're sad, sometimes you're excited, sometimes you're cool. So in an organization, especially the peers with which you're working, maybe a boss to a guru-shishya relationship, or a top boss to your manager relationship, what is that relationship is all about? Is it about pressure, tactics to bring performance, or is it about bringing camaraderie and bringing that type of oneness or friendship or happiness in the organization, so that all your roti, I would say, return on time and investment goes up? So that is a $1 million question. I've been doing a lot of research in the last 10 years, asking very accomplished organizations, the owners, when they meet, I ask them the same fundamental question. They ask, Shiva, enappa thideernu indha mari question ketta? Simple question, but it's very difficult to answer. So you ask this question to yourself, and we will, as we go in the short presentation, will come to know. So as I told, there are more than 300 types of varieties you can express yourself. But I picked up 6 important emotions for the day. It is happiness. Sometimes it is sadness. It will be followed by this. It is fear. Many in the organization, your juniors, especially immediate juniors, they always work under a component of fear. And this emotion is a very, very powerful emotion. It can make or break an organization. COVID la paathirukom. Nere per fear nala vaccine potundaga, fear nala podala. Fear nala, those who complied with that, they could sail through this COVID period. Those who had very highly aware fear, they did not die because of COVID. They died because of lack of immunity. And this lack of immunity is because of this fundamental emotion called fear. And it doesn't, spare anyone. It could be a young guy or an old person. This is a very important emotion. Disgust. Today in India, you drive in the road, okay, wherever you find things which you're not happy with, you find disgust. Why am I paying so much of taxes? What are the roads? You start cursing people. There is a high amount of disgust. Then comes, followed by this, is anger. And anger is a very, very costly emotion. Anger is a very costly emotion. As the slide goes, it will tell you how costly anger can be. You could be the managing director of the company, and you get a sense of satisfaction. Today I could fire someone for the lack of performance, or why the office shop floor is like this, and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, when you do your own health quotient balance sheet, you would be the loser, because your blood pressure would have gone up, your diabetes would have gone up, and so on and so forth. The lung disease would have gone up. And I'll tell you how these emotions are directly connected to your health, and that will how it will be connected to your financial health and even the corporate health. How it is interlinked, we will check that. And last but not the least, surprise. Very few, so that they say change is inevitable. Change is inevitable. But in an organization, you bring a change even for good, many of them will resist. Many of them will resist change because it is called as the boiled frog syndrome. What is the boiled frog syndrome? You put a frog inside a warm water. It is cozy, it's cool, it's nice. So what it does is that it is getting into the comfort zone. Nama office lo romba, in the systems lo romba. So when they are used to that comfort zone, like a boiled frog, suddenly you bring a change in the organization, they are not able to jump away because the heat is up. So this is the people who succumb to the pressure, performance pressure, and because of that they land up with a lot of problems. And we have seen today a lot of case studies, young people in organization, especially in information technology, 30 37, 35-year young guys, they have a heart attack. The senior citizens over here, you are very strong at 70s and strong at even 80s. But why is that in today's scenario? Very young people go to one of my very favorite doctor, Dr. Cherian doctor, used to tell, one boy came 28 years, heart attack. Why? Because how they manage this basic emotion is very, very important. Okay, let's have some fun. What is this emotion? Quickly, because of the time factor to rush through. What is this emotion? Young guy over there. What is this emotion? வடிவேல் என்ன பண்றாரு? இங்க வீடியோல பாருங்க. என்ன பண்றாரு? Is he crying or angry? Give him a big round of applause. Yo, very participative, young boy. Congrats to his mother also. Okay, he's very angry, right? So see the anger. How anger can be costly in an organization. So we always think, I've done my job and do my duty of being angry. It shows in your body language. The expressions can be deadly dangerous to your ROI. And one spurt, even 1 minute you call your employee and fire him like thing, his entire day productivity goes for a toss. Entire day. Because it's very difficult for him to come out of that shame once you fire him. So for one person's anger is another person's fear. So it's very, very important. I'll go a little bit fast. Fear. Generally, we should have fear to protect ourselves from danger. So you have a competitor in your industry. So we need to fear that, what the world over the foundry industry is doing. So what I need to do, a little bit of fear is good. But constantly, if you're on fear for 365 days, your performance index is gone for a toss. So you should use this emotion called fear very judiciously so that you can become performer. Disgust is very good for making things okay in the organization. If you don't feel disgust cool, that means if you feel okay with many things happening in the organization, you cannot make it a center of excellence. Always you should be go for the next level, and for this the emotion disgust is helpful. Sadness, and I'll tell you, sadness can trigger a lot of innovation in our organization. I think we saw Vignesh. Where is Vignesh? Vignesh became very emotional on the stage when he spoke about his brother and father. And I'll tell you, this emotion called sadness, he started with a very strong voice. But when he got this sadness or sorrow into him, his voice became so low. And that can trigger so many emotions in a body. It can become an innovation, or sometimes it can also destroy people. So you should know where to tune this sadness. And for me, sadness has played great thing after my father's death. In a very young age, I said I should do something for my father Bellan. And that is what, my career catapulted to a very high level. And for that, this emotion, many of them, they get into depression and they become non-performers. Joy. நம்ம என்ஜாயே பண்றதில்லை எங்க லைஃப். எப்ப பார்த்தாலும் டென்ஷன். அதை தெனாலி பாடத்தில் சொல்ற மாதிரி அதை கண்டா பயம், இதை கண்டா பயம், எது கண்டாலும் பயம். பாஸை கண்டா பயம், வீட்டில் போனா பொண்டாட்டி கண்டா பயம், எல்லாத்துக்கும் பயம் இல்லையா? We should take a little bit time out, sing a song, do a painting, go for a dance. When was the last time you sang a song, sir? Every day, wonderful. Give up a big round of applause to sir. எத்தனை பேர் பாடுறோம்? We don't sing. I see a lot of senior citizens in an apartment. Whatever is the thing after retirement, they come, they enjoy. Today, a lot of apps are there, they enjoy. So you need to learn, however big you are, or whatever the business empire hand, this chinna aasai. This is very, very important in life. Otherwise, at the end of your life bed, you'll ask this fundamental question: did I live my life meaningfully? That speaks of things. What money you make doesn't matter at the end of your life. Okay, so why this emotion? In an organization, when you put all these emotions into a nice blend, trust will not come just like that, sir. Trust will, sir, say என் மேல நம்பிக்கை இல்லையா சார்னு கேட்பாங்க நிறைய எம்ப்ளாயிஸ். say என் மேல நம்பிக்கை இல்லையான்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. பட் ட்ரஸ்ட் எப்படி வரும்? Trust is like the two sides of the coin. What is the two sides of the coin? The one side, you have a character of that person. The other side is competence. Even if one is lacking, you cannot trust a person. There are a lot of people who have excellent character. They have a great attitude. They have great loyalty. They are very faithful. Fantastic. But can they deliver that particular project? They might not have that intelligence or excellence or wisdom to deliver the project. So will you give that person this type of high-end project? You will not do, because the company will go down. So it's always young engineers who, suppose you're sitting here, or even the senior people, when you trust a person, always see the both ends of the coin. Is he trustworthy in terms of his character, and is he competent? If there is a double tick to both the things, then you can entrust him with bigger projects. Even if one thing is missing, you need to educate him and tell, boy, you're very honest, you're very loyal, it's fantastic. But to give you this project, you need to upskill yourself in this. I think that's what IIF has been doing, so many training programs. I think kudos to all of you. So how do you upskill your boys so that you build the trust in your employees and give him fantastic projects over this? So that's what they say. If trust is not there, friends, no matter how big a company we have seen in the history, larger companies, US companies have become just like nothing, just because when the CEO changes, the lack of trust, lot of attrition, and that's how they have been washed out. There are many companies which were there 50 years back, vanished from the market in today's. They don't become relevant. It's simply because of the coin called trust. How do you build that? Because it is the essence of partnership. So what do you do with these emotions? Very quickly I have to go. What do we do with this emotion is that two things. If you have joy and if you have trust, sir, I love you, love does not come only with one factor. Suppose you're always jolly person, but if you're not trustworthy, you've seen today many of the challenges even in personal relationship is because of this fundamental thing. He would be a happy guy, he must be giving a lot of riches and material wealth, everything. But the second part, the trust is not there, it will not develop into a love. Same thing with, you see the array of things. Trust and fear, submission. Fear and surprise, awe. Surprise and sadness, disapproval. And lot many things you'll see. So you as a smart person, you should know how to blend two emotions together to your advantage. To your advantage. And that's how you can read the what we call empathy in the other person and do to them. Sir, emotions therinji enna sir panna porom? Company lo emotions therinjது. What is the benefit I get, sir? Too many benefits. This is what it will do. This is a scientific study on the map of emotion. இப்போ ஒரு எம்ப்ளாயி இருக்காரு, ஹாப்பியா இருந்தாருன்னா the center part is, you see the color of that body. The entire body is reddish yellow. That means his entire body is having oxygen. Right? கோவிட்ல நம்ம எல்லாரும் டெஸ்ட் பார்த்திருப்போம் இல்லையா? ஆக்சிஜன் சேச்சுரேஷன் 95 க்கு கீழ விழுந்தா டாக்டர் பண்ணு. இப்போ 90 கூட ஓகேன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க ஹில் ஸ்டேஷன்ஸ்ல. So 90 கீழ விழுந்தா என்ன? It's a danger mark. So this is what exactly. That means 365 days, if the person is not able to manage his emotion, suppose with anger or sadness or anxiety or shame or envy or jealousy or whatever it is, the oxygen distribution throughout his body is not equivalent. So what happens to his performance? It's very simple. Oxygen is directly proportional to your energy. இன்னைக்கு நீங்க எனர்ஜெட்டிக்கா பேசுறீங்களா? எவ்வளோ நீங்க, what is your productivity within Pareto principle? They say 80% of the work is done in just 20% of the time. Why? It is because of your energy within you. அப்போ பாக்கி 80% of the time ஆபீஸ்ல என்ன பண்றான்னா? That's all. It's a time pass. This is a $1 million question you should ask yourself and your employees. So it's your responsibility as you are at the senior of the organization, how I can make my employees happy. Once you make them happy, automatically you need not worry, his productivity curve will go up, and that's how performance in organization will go up. A beautiful quote by Mark Twain says that everyone is like a moon and has a dark side which he never shows to anybody. So in an organization, when I do these audits, I do a lot of audits in organization on this performance matrix.
I'm a brand management guy, built some of the biggest brands in the country in pharmaceuticals. Most of the products you would have known during COVID, many of my brands were there. But beyond that, I don't ask a number type of a question. The question I ask them is that, how is he really engaged in the work? Is he really enjoying his work? When you ask this fundamental question, sometimes, there is a mismatch between the person and the nature of work you have given to that particular person. இப்போ ஒரு unskilled person கிட்ட போய் ஒரு டஃப்பான job where he feels that for my level of competence is too high, I'll tell you 365 days he is going to suffer in that particular role. So it is the responsibility of the leadership team to find out that whether this guy is capable of doing this job, and ask him, are you enjoying this job? Or you observe from a distance, is he enjoying the job? If he is really enjoying the job, that will show in his performance curve. If you look at his performance curve month on month, if it is growing, that means this guy is enjoying. And that is where you need to introspect and tell him, you need some training program, extra training program. Someone was telling, you collaborate with IIT or IIM, so and so forth. So further his performance will go up. But if you're giving, there's a mismatch between the person and the role you're giving, end of the year you'll come to know a big surprise to you that it has been degrown from the last year. So that is the reason these emotions will play a very important role. I'll go a little fast. I'll make it very quickly because of the time. In the 6-7 emotions, ellarum gavaninga, even the kids over there. Over there. Are you listening to me? Over there. You're listening? Is it interesting? Wonderful. Okay. Romba kelunga, loneliness. I tell you, loneliness, they say, as you go up the hierarchy, maybe a general manager and above, we all suffer in silence. We all suffer in silence. We might have all the things to your disposal, but when you sit in the glass room in the silent, loneliness plays big havoc on the health. So it's very important at the leadership, whether you're CEO or a CFO, very often you need to come out of your chamber and interact with your other down the right colleagues, because they found loneliness is one of the highest cause for increased blood pressure and thereby heart attack and stroke. Stress, it affects your heart and brain. Anxiety, it affects your stomach and spleen. We tell no, sir, எனக்கு வயிறு ஒரு மாதிரி கலக்கலா இருக்கு. வயிறு டைரக்டா உண்ணாஃப். You don't, most of our food, South Indian food, good food, but still why do you have IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, uneasiness in your stomach, all these things? It is simply because of the increased hydrochloric acid in your stomach. அதனால தான் நம்ம ஊர்ல எல்லா வீட்லயும் ஒரு ஜெலுசலோ ஏதோ டைஜினோ இருக்கும் டேபிள்ல. ஏன் இருக்கு? Because of unwanted stress. So that can anxiety, unwanted anxiety, irritability and hatred. We get irritated for each and everything. For the environment, people, neighbor, so on and so forth. If you're not able to control this, this leads to a very typical heart problem called arrhythmia. Arrhythmia ன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. அதாவது படபடப்புன்னு லப்டப்னு இது எப்படி இருக்கும்னா லப்டப்னு irregular அடிக்கும். So lot of arrhythmia and tachycardia. Heart rate fluctuate ஆகும். This is very critical, and these things will be very unnoticed. Very unnoticed. We're thinking I'm okay with all those things. But once you cross 40 and 50, the best way நீங்க ஹார்ட்ல அப்படி பண்ணும்போது you can actually feel the way your heart is beating. Is it doing it in a normal musical rhythm or beating or irregularly because of some other tension? It could be financial, it could be performance, or it could be deadlines of a conference, so on and so forth. So this is how understanding these emotions will help you. So fear பாருங்க, how it affects your kidneys. நிறைய பேர் கிட்னி ஃபெயிலியர் எதனால வருது? Of course it comes through diabetes. So diabetes, how it is triggered? Because of the emotion called fear. Fear will just increase your glucose level. நீங்க ஒரு 24 hours ஒருத்தர் blood glucose, ambulatory blood glucose னு சொல்லுவாங்க, மெஷர் பண்ணுவாங்க. கான்ஸ்டன்ட்டா fear இருந்தானா your blood sugar will keep on increasing above 200, just like that. Because these emotions have a direct correlation on your health. Anger, heart and liver, sadness or grief, it affects your lungs. Pulmonary edema, chest. நிறைய பேர் age people, you keep like you want to spit every time. You like to spit, but spit இருக்காது. because of the congestion of your lungs, lot of water, this thing. You must be wondering, this is a management guy talking so much of science. But why I am talking the science part of this is that these are all the hidden factors in a corporate world. Hidden factors. And I've seen most of the people in the young age who have lost their life. So, Varumun Kapom, if we are very aware about these things, then you can manipulate these things or moderate these type of emotions. Why I have to feel angry with this guy? By spoiling my health. So you become very, very strategic thinking. Rather than becoming an illogical thinker, you'll become a strategic thinker. You'll tell him to do a 2x2 matrix about the problem and explain it to you. So your anger will be subsided for that moment. And this is how in the corporate world you can escape this type of syndrome and shock, of course. Okay, little more fast, let me go. Stress ன்னு சொல்றேன். So stress நல்லதா கெட்டதா? கெட்டது. சார் எல்லாத்துக்கும் கெட்டது. எனக்கு நான் சொல்றேன் ஸ்ட்ரெஸ் நல்லதுன்னு சொல்றேன். ஓகே, எப்போ நல்லது? இப்போ இந்த மீட்டிங்ல நம்ம ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாரும் பார்க்குறோம், சந்தோஷமா இருக்கும். நிறைய பேர் வந்து பேசுனீங்க, ரொம்ப ஜோவியல். ஐ திங்க் விக்னேஷ் இஸ் ஸ்மார்ட் கை யார். அப்போ அதாவது நெக்ஸ்ட் இயர் ஸ்டார்ட் ஆகுதுக்குள்ள அவர் வின் ஆயிட்டாரு. வெரி ஸ்ட்ராட்டஜிக்கல், இஸ் அ பிரில்லியன்ட் மார்க்கெட்டிங் கை. எல்லாத்தையும் கூப்பிட்டு மேடையில் வச்சு பேசி, சார் 2 வார்த்தை பேசுங்க சார், 2 வார்த்தை பண்ண இப்போ இந்த சந்தோஷம் இஸ் ஜஸ்ட் triggering that happiness quotient. When you trigger that happiness quotient, what you get in the people, for the person who's spoken also, something called eustress, a positive stress. பரவாயில்ல, this is very inclusive. IIF is very inclusive. நம்மளுடைய ஐடியாவும் கேட்குறாங்க, அது ரொம்ப நல்ல விஷயம். அது நம்ம ஐடியா கேட்குறாங்க. ஐயோ, நம்ம ஐடியாக்கு இவங்களே மேனேஜிங் டீமே வந்து எல்லாமே எடுக்காம நம்ம ஐடியா கேட்குறாங்க. ஸோ யூ பில்ட் சம்திங் கால்ட் யூஸ்ட்ரெஸ். யூஸ்ட்ரெஸ் ஒரு ஆர்கனைஸ். இப்போ என்ன பண்ணும் ஆர்கனைசேஷனில்? யூ ஷுட் ஆஸ் அ டீம் லீடர் யூ ஷுட் நாட் டேக் த ஃபுல் டிசிஷன். மேக் அ டிசிஷன் மேட்ரிக்ஸ், சென்ட் இட் டு த லாஸ்ட் மோஸ்ட் எம்ப்ளாயி. Let them come with hundreds of ideas. Put it into a nice matrix and see which idea is best. And then you vote for that, and then you take a decision. I'll tell you, when you make your employees own that idea, நம்ம ஐடியா கேட்குறாங்க. ஐயோ, நம்ம ஐடியாக்கு இவங்களே மேனேஜிங் டீமே வந்து எல்லாமே எடுக்காம நம்ம ஐடியா கேட்குறாங்க. ஸோ யூ பில்ட் சம்திங் கால்ட் யூஸ்ட்ரெஸ். யூஸ்ட்ரெஸ் ஒரு ஆர்கனைஸ். இப்போ என்ன பண்ணும் ஆர்கனைசேஷனில்? யூ ஷுட் ஆஸ் அ டீம் லீடர் யூ ஷுட் நாட் டேக் த ஃபுல் டிசிஷன். Make a decision matrix, send it to the last most employee. Let them come with hundreds of ideas. Put it into a nice matrix and see which idea is best. And then you vote for that, and then you take a decision. I'll tell you, when you make your employees own that idea, do it in silos. Nanda Biryada, crash, or you had an annual loss of income, whatever it is, you have a chronic stress because of diabetes, hypertension, and so on. This can cause chronic. So, what you need to be very aware is that huge stress and chronic stress. You have to be very, very careful. See, for example, I'll tell you, I am diabetic for the last 25 years. This is genetics. I cannot help it. This is my genes. But the moment I knew that, I never allow any
நம்ம எல்லாரும் end of the year நம்ம பேலன்ஸ் ஷீட் பார்க்குறோம், profit and loss, assets and liabilities, இதெல்லாம் பார்க்குறோம். You call that a chartered apprentice and so on. But to be a balance sheet of the human being, when you work on this part of what part or that's what the Lord wants. So நம்ம ஸ்ட்ரெஸ் என்ன பண்றோம்? சுமை தாங்கி பாரு, சொந்தக்காரங்க எல்லாரும் கம்பெனிக்கு எல்லாரும் வந்து ஸ்ட்ரெஸ் மேல போட்டுட்டே இருக்கும். வடிவே படத்துல சொன்ன மாதிரி ஃபேமஸ் கமெடியன் எப்படி இருந்தானா இப்படி ஆகிட்ட மாதிரி ஸ்ட்ரெஸ் எல்லாம் மேல வெளியில போயிட்டே இருப்பாங்க. Rather you have to just be very straight and tell, stand on top of the stress, put it under your feet and tell, I'm not going to take any more stress. Only use stress. Correct? So scientific things are going fast because can I take 10 minutes? 10 minutes? Is it interesting, sir, to all of you? Yes. Can you make an ass? Yes. Yes. Wonderful. That is me. Okay. Very quickly, this next last 10-12 minutes, I'll tell, we're going to life-changing experience. வாழ்க்கையில நம்ம இவன் எதிரி அவன் எதிரின்னு சொல்லிட்டு நமக்கு கிடையாது. நம்ம தான் நம்மளுக்கு எதிரி. அது யாருன்னா ரெண்டே பேர் தான். யாருன்னா ஒருத்தர் நண்பர் கார்டிசால். எப்பெல்லாம் நீங்க ஸ்ட்ரெஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கீங்களோ, whenever you are stressed, this hormone cortisol will jump. And what it does? It damages your entire body. It damages your immune system, your heart, your blood pressure, your sugar, your digestive problem, your nervous problem, brain issues. You see, one hormone can cause a havoc on your entire body. And non-medical people seldom would have noticed. And these things are happening unknowingly. Even now when you're sitting here, you're thinking about your home. Sitting about home, some little of cortisol is going to secrete. So you have to work on a balanced way. Cortisol has to be very optimum. Not very increasing. Adrenaline. Suppose you are doing a joyful activity, adrenaline will jump. A dog is chasing you, adrenaline has to jump because you have to run faster than the dog, otherwise the dog will bite you, isn't it? Fight or flight syndrome. But if it continues, dog அங்கே நின்றுச்சு, நீங்க பாட்டு ஓடிட்டே இருந்தா நீங்க செத்துருவீங்க. அதுதான் நம்ம கார்ப்பரேட் வேர்ல்ட்ல. You're running the race, the rat race for no meaning. That means in a corporate journey, you are not enjoying the process of your work. Rather, it is a sheer rat race between your peers or your superiors, and that's a mad race. And at the end of the day, nobody enjoys. And that is how it leads into conflicts, ego, anger, whatever, all the negative process I'm talking about, how it flares up because of the sheer rat race. Am I clear, sir? Sheer rat race. So how? And what does adrenaline do? Same thing. யாருக்கு டயபிட்டிஸ் இருக்கோ, அட்ரினலின் ஜம்ப் ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா அதுக்குன்னா எல்லாம் சொல்லுவாங்க மெடிடேஷன், சின் முத்ரா, ஞான முத்ரா, எனி முத்ரா. யூ சிட், just have a deep breath. Whenever you stress, don't try the circle. First you take some deep breath. Think about it. You cool subside. And I made a philosophy. I also go to SRM University as a professor of practice. My job is to trigger the happiness quotient in professors, students, faculty, everybody. And every person, even if I meet the security guard, I wish him, sir, the பையன் என்ன பண்றான், ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா பேசுறான் அவங்ககிட்ட. ஏன்னா if you are able to trigger that happiness quotient, his performance will go up. பரவாயில்ல சார் கொஞ்சம் எல்லாம் கேட்குறா, யாரும் கேட்கணும். So students get motivated. What are you going to do after this? So that's very, very important. Otherwise, your adrenaline build-up will go up and up, and unnecessarily we will be taking blood pressure medicine. Quickly I have to choose. Okay, sir. Now climax வந்துட்டோம். இந்த மீட்டிங் காலேஜ் சார், ஓகே இந்த நெகட்டிவ் எல்லாம் தெரிஞ்சிருச்சு, இதுக்கு என்ன சொல்யூஷன் சார் இருக்கா? இருக்கு. நம்ம கோவிட்ல எல்லாரும் என்ன பண்ணோம்? கோவிட் வேக்சின் போட்டோம். அதே மாதிரி you have a natural hormone vaccine within your body, and that is what I am going to reveal called dose. The dose of happiness is என்னன்னா, D for dopamine, O for oxytocin, S for serotonin, E for endorphin. என்ன சார் டப்பான வார்த்தை இதுனா? the beautiful world of your life. Dopamine என்ன பண்ணும்னா feel good hormone. நீங்க ஒருத்தரை பாராட்டுறீங்க. If I'm looking at uncle, sir, you're looking so handsome and young, sir, like Sivaji Ganeshan, suddenly, you sir, I'm talking about you. Suddenly, there is a rush of dopamine in him. Because it might be Sivaji Ganeshan, it might be his favorite actor. So I know the challenge of bringing dopamine. Motivate people. When you motivate people, when you inspire people, the dopamine is going to go. That's what, instead of negatively talking something to a person, that he will change positive. Hey, I feel, tappu pannita, okay, but I feel you have a great potential, you can do better. You see the change. Yes. Second one, oxytocin, bonding hormone. இப்போ நம்ம வயசான தாத்தா பாட்டி எல்லாம் வந்து சின்ன பசங்களை பார்த்தா தலையில பண்ணுவோம், ஆசீர்வாதம் பண்ணுவோம், பண்ணுவாங்க. Or else small kids know, they go to their mother, they kiss their mother. When there is a sense of touch, this hormone called oxytocin just released, and this is called the bonding hormone. The bonding hormone வந்து ரொம்ப ரொம்ப குறைஞ்சிருக்கு வளரும். அதனால even pregnant women delivery la hospital la they are not able to deliver, they give an injection called oxytocin external. ஆனா body le oxytocin, the way you shake hand, some people are conscious, boss button, sir, good morning sir, that's a different meaning. But your handshake itself is feel the warmth. Do you feel the handshake? Some people know the person you like, you use a handshake, you feel that. You feel that actually. Next one, serotonin. Serotonin increase ஆகலைன்னா you fall into depression. So எப்படி serotonin னா mood swings. So suppose நீங்க சோகமா இருக்கீங்க, take the help of sir. இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு issue ஆயிடுச்சு, financially இருந்தா, if he is a consultant, he can help you. Your serotonin, நமக்கு மாத்திரம் இந்த பிரச்சனை இல்லை, எல்லாத்துக்கும் இதே தான். So we can come over that. When you give him confidence, his serotonin will. Last but not the least, endorphin. Endorphin நான் எதுக்கு நான் பாட்டு பாடுறேன், எதுக்கு டான்ஸ் ஆடுறோம், எதுக்கு படம் வரைகிறேன், all these small சின்ன ஆசை will increase your endorphin level. You be a happy person. Doesn't matter you have a big balance or not. Are you a goodwill billionaire? The ex-DGP of Tamil Nadu is called Shiva. You are a goodwill billionaire. எனக்கு ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம் sir, I am not a millionaire also அப்படின்னா. No, you are a goodwill billionaire. You bring happiness. You help people. So that should be your life vision. Are you helping people? When you start helping people, these endorphins will. And these are very 4 critical hormones. Please remember: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphin. In the video you can see. Now quickly I will rush through. இப்போ எல்லாத்துக்கும் சேம் ஃபார்மேட் தான். டோபமைன் குறைஞ்சிருச்சுன்னா ஒண்ணே என்னன்னா, உங்க எப்படி கண்டுபிடிக்கணும், ப்ரோக்ராஸ்டினேட் பண்ணிட்டே இருப்பாங்க. வேலை வந்து நாளைக்கு தள்ள போடுவாங்க. டோபமைன் குவிக்லி எக்ஸ்பிளேஷன். விக்னேஷ், I know that you are interested. Oxytocin, it's not my fault, it's your fault. Oxytocin, feeling lonely. தனிமையில் இருக்காங்களா? இன்னைக்கு சென்னை சிட்டில வயசான elderly people தனிமையில் இருக்காங்க. Go to them. I have a lot of senior citizens. I go to their house and talk to them. I chat with them. Because this loneliness will not bring happiness to them. Because of happiness. Serotonin, low self-esteem. Now ஒரு காலத்துல ஒரு கம்பெனியில பெரிய மேனேஜர்கள், இப்போ என்ன பசங்கள்லாம் யூஎஸ்ல இருக்காங்க, அங்க இருக்காங்க. Many people suffer in silence. Endorphin, fainting, pain, mood swings. So இதுக்கெல்லாம் என்ன solution? Meditate, exercise, write பண்ணுங்க, music எழுதுங்க, art, socialize பண்ணுங்க, go and talk to people. Then many things are there. Vignesh, last one. Without examination. This is my last one. I'm going to finish. Now, okay, I've seen the problem. I've seen the solution. Dose, dopamine. So how do you improve that? Music. Have a purpose. Have a purpose. Why all this problem happens? Because you don't have purpose. பழைய பாட்டு பாடுற மாதிரி, நான் ஏன் பிறந்தேன் அந்த மாதிரி ஆயிடும். So if you have a purpose, you call it. That's the passion, the profession, the vocation, and the mission. When all these 4 rings blend together, in the center of it you find called ikigai. This is the purpose of life. You can read this book. It's very interesting, Japanese book. The second one is karma. Positive emotion, engage with people, with positive relationship, meaning and accomplishment. Enjoy. Don't compare yourself to others. See, two cats are looking which rat is more bigger in size. Don't compare yourself. Anyway, they will die. Don't compare yourself. Take control of your life. Practice positive emotions. Find moments of flow. Very interesting slide. Very interesting slide. Flow இல்லைனா நீர் அதாவது ஒரு ரிவர் எப்படி ஃப்ளோ ஆகுது நிறுத்தினா it starts thinking அதே மாதிரி லைஃப்ல ஃப்ளோ இல்லைனா you start thinking. How it happens? Low apathy. Low high anxiety. High flow. See, this is an organization you should do to start with all your employees. இதை பார்த்து கண்டுபிடிக்கலாம். There this boy can contribute. Is he a leader material? Is he a shop floor material? Is he a CEO material? Can find out from his enthusiasm and competence. It's a beautiful chart which should work. This is a very beautiful quote written by me many years back. Happiness is the last line. Happiness is like a butterfly. The more you chase it, the more it evades you or eludes you. It runs away from you. But if you focus on beautiful and meaningful things in life, you gently come and sit on your shoulder. That is what is called as headroom, unruler. And I want to conclude with a song for all of you. A very, very beautiful song for all of you. I hope that we have a very good number of young senior citizens. This is for them. This is about life, friends. This is about life. மயக்கமா கலக்கமா மனதிலே குழப்பமா வாழ்க்கையில் நடுக்கமா வாழ்க்கை என்றால் ஆயிரம் இருக்கும் வாசல் தோறும் வேதனை இருக்கும் வாழ்க்கை என்றால் ஆயிரம் இருக்கும் வாசல் தோறும் வேதனை இருக்கும் வந்த துன்பம் எதுவென்றாலும் வாடி நின்றால் ஓடுவதில்லை வாடி நின்றால் ஓடுவதில்லை எதையும் தாங்கும் இதயம் இருந்தால் இறுதி வரைக்கும் அமைதி இருக்கும். I want all of you to have happiness and peace in the end, and thanks for this wonderful opportunity to hire.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to request our new chairman, chapter chairman Mr. Vignesh, to felicitate our speaker for the day with a small memento.
Thank you to all of you.
Next, our secretary Raj Mohan will provide the vote of thanks.
Just give me 2 minutes. Okay, 1 minute please. So firstly I'd like to thank my chairman, past chairman, council members, present and past office bearers of SR for opting me for this position. I assure to keep you to the trust actually you have in me. I know I need to fit into big shoes by replacing Mr. P. Sendil Kumar, who was doing a tremendous work. I try my best to fit into it. I look for everyone's support. Today I'm here, it's because of Mr. S.R.V. Ramanan, Mr. Vasudevan and Mr. Ranganathan. They laid the path for me to getting into IIF. Some special mentions are Mr. Ramchandran, Mr. Prem Sir, Mr. Sanjay, Mr. Parani Murugan, Mr. Dayalan, Mr. Srikanth, Mr. Anbuchelvan, Mr. Bala, few among the lot who inspired me to get into IIF. I thank my management of Allied Refractory for giving me a free hand for getting into IIF. We would like to thank our guest speaker for the evening, Mr. Sivakumar Bellan, for talking on a very important topic that we all work in us actually for pursuit of happiness. We would like to thank the members and the companies who are here to witness this annual chapter meeting. We would like to thank all our stalwarts here for guiding and felicitating us on a path for greatness. We would like to thank the management of GRT for the fantastic hospitality, and this marks the beginning of a partnership for the entire year ahead. We thank the office bearers once again. We the office bearers once again assure you the best efforts in making the chapter flag fly high. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your patience, and please join us for the networking and dinner. GRT for providing us a cake on a, what is that actually?
GRT team, as a gesture of support, they are giving us